Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Make It Make Sense. I am your host, Bottles and Beers. Today, we're going to talk about 8 different fragrances that leave an amazing scent trail. And with that being said, let's get to it. All right, first off, what better way to kick things off than with an amazing fragrance that works for all ages and definitely a top tier. From the house of Amouage, we have Lyric. Now, this one right here definitely leaves a scent trail to be remembered. Oh, man. Very musky, very spicy, warm spicy at that. Definitely want to dress up a tad bit. You don't necessarily have to, but in most cases, I think that's where it'll really shine at. Any weather, I would wear this in. A lot of people try to say mainly like fall or winter because of how powerful it is, but it has a brightness to it. And it's just it stands out. That's all I can say. It stands out, very fresh, powdery. That rose in this is done to perfection, guys. Definitely get your nose on this. And like I said, the scent trail on this one is one to be remembered. From the house of Amouage, we have Lyric. All right, next up, can't leave this one out. Definitely can't leave this one out. From the house of Bond number 9, we have Lafayette Street. Now, the lavender accord in this one is what gives off that amazing scent trail that I'm speaking of today. Whew. I definitely understand why this is one that is talked about a lot by women and men, actually. It's a very great scent. In this one, you get your amber accords, very fresh, spicy, very musky. You get your vanilla, some citruses in this one. This is an outstanding, very well done fragrance. Now with this one, in the last video I spoke about another one from Dunhill, and I said it was controversial. I'm gonna get more into that on another video, but this one has a lot to do with why I called that one controversial. So with that being said, this one's quite controversial also. But again, this one, you can dress this up or down, any age, very unisex, any season. I love this one, guys. One you definitely should try out. One of the best from the house of Bond number 9. You have Lafayette Street. All right, let's take this in another direction. Next, from the house of Frank Olivier, we have Oud Touch. Now, with this one, definitely for the older crowd, the older gentlemen. Would I had wore this in my early 20s, late teens? Hell no, not even close. It's one of those, if you have an amateur nose, this probably would not be a take. Definitely not blind buy worthy. But it is a very good one, especially for the price. With this one, you get lots and lots of oud, more of a barnyardish style of oud. It is quite harsh. It's quite brash, but you do get a rose accord in this. You get some caramel, lots of patchouli. And I think you get a slight touch of vanilla in this one, some incense. It's definitely winter appropriate. Cold fall season, summer and spring, I probably wouldn't touch this unless you're going to be in a climate controlled area. This will do quite well, but other than that, outside in the heat, I would not go for this. But this one here is definitely for more of a dress appropriate attire, dressed up, blazer, some of that nature. I wouldn't just throw a t-shirt and jeans on with this, no hoodie or nothing like that. It's not their style of fragrance, but it is a decent one. It's very different. So if you're not used to this style of fragrance, probably want to test it before you buy it. Again, from the house of Frank Olivier, you have Oud Touch. Did I mention the scent trail on those last two fragrances? If I didn't, I'm mentioning it now. Amazing. You would definitely know I just walked past you. Amazing. All right, this next fragrance, man, this is definitely to die for. This that one you wear when you want to be the best dressed in the room, hands down. From the House of Guerlain, that's Santal Royale. This by far is, man, this smells so good. This by far, the scent trail on this one, it's gonna last, it's gonna linger, it's definitely gonna leave an impression. You have some cinnamon. Oh man, you got some florals in here, wood and leather accords, some amber, and of course some oud. Oh man, and it's that dressy oud too. This that styling and profiling. But I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people say dress this one up. I can rock this with anything. If you was to get your nose on, I think you will see what I mean. This one of those. There is dark, but it's still vibrant at the same time. And like I said, if you want to be the best smelling person in the room, this the one to go to. Any age bracket, any season. Now, in the dead of heat, on a summer day, I probably wouldn't reach for this, but spring, fall, winter, this gets the job done. And as far as the scent trail, this is gonna follow you. It's gonna linger in the room. People will notice you. Definitely a compliment getter. Definitely a conversation starter. Also, every time I wear this, I do have to answer some questions from someone, whether it's female or male. Gorgeous scent, guys, from the House of Guerlain, Santal Royale. All right, so any fragrance enthusiast should have heard of the House of BDK, and if so, surely you know what has to meet the scent trail list. I mean, it's probably one of the most powerful fragrances from that house, from the House of BDK. We have Tobacco Rose. Man, oh man. I'm gonna be real with you. I pull this out for certain reasons. Showstopper. All right. When I want to be noticed. When I know for a fact that no one is going to match what I'm wearing that day. This one, you get cinnamon, you get that rose, spicy, tobacco, of course. That the rose in this mixed with that tobacco, it's not your average rose oud combination. It's a slight oud in here, whether they listed it on Fragrantica or not, I'm not sure, but I do get a slight touch of oud in this one. But that tobacco mixed with that rose, blended perfectly. I can almost say that this is a 10 out of 10. The only reason I wouldn't, because at times, sometimes it tends to lean a tad bit feminine. So you do want to watch your attire. It depends on how you are able to pull this one off. But definitely a showstopper. As far as the scent trail, my goodness, this is going to last and linger and follow you around the room, around the building. You walk out of room and someone else enter, they will know you were in that room. One of the best from the house, especially as far as my collection, this is definitely one of the best. What more can I say, guys? Definitely get your nose on this. From the House of BDK, we have Tobacco Rose. All right, this next one. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you all. I bought this one strictly off the bottle. The bottle presentation is one that I needed in my collection just to add some more depth to my setup, and I'm glad I bought it. It was a blind buy, but I'll do it again over and over. It's a fougere style, because I'm really starting to want to try out more fougères, more gentleman leaning fragrances, more masculine. With that being said, from the House of Nobile 1942. We have Fougere. We have Fougere Nobile. Lavender mixed with tobacco. A perfect blend that I never would have considered a perfect blend. I'm gonna just be honest with you. The tobacco note in this one, it gives it that masculine scent that I'm looking for, but that lavender accord with that vanilla, it makes it subtle, but as all Fougeres, is very aromatic. You know, that barbershop style, but classical. This is definitely a classical Fougere, but I'm not going to say that it has to be for older gentlemen. Definitely have some maturity to it, but I think a young guy can pull it off if they know what they're doing. It's not a playful scent at all. This is more serious business. This is going to be a statement maker. Woody, very herbal. It has this green feeling to it. Man, I absolutely love this one. I'm very glad that I added this to the collection. And as far as the scent trail, again, it's going to follow you. It's going to linger for a while. It's going to make a presence. And it's not a beast mode. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is. It's definitely one, if you want the attention, this one's definitely going to give it to you. From the house of Nobile 1942. Get your nose on it. Fougere Nobile. Look at that bottle. Did I mention the scent trail on those last two fragrances? If I didn't, I'm mentioning it now. Amazing. All right, next up, from the house of Amouage again. Can't leave this one off the list. The very powerful and minty Beach Hut Man. When I say minty, you get this earthy, woody, very spicy, fresh, classy scent. I'm talking about very classy, very vibrant. You can smell this a mile away. I hate that it took me so long. This is pretty new to my collection. But if I would have known what I was missing, this definitely would have been one of the first ones I bought from this house. Man, this is just a bottle of smell good. Again, earthy, very aromatic. It wears like a Fougere, but I'm not sure if I would put it in a Fougere's category, but it definitely tends to wear like a Fougere to my nose. I could be wrong. If you know if it's classified as a Fougere, let me know in the comments. But this one, oh man, that patchouli, oak moss, the mint. You get some vetiver in here. I believe some geranium or some galbanum. Man, this is done perfectly. I'm gonna have to say this one of my favorites from the house. I've went through a lot of samples. I think I own 6 Amouage. This is definitely in my top 3. It just might be my number 1. I want to give it that right now, but again, it's fairly new to my collection, so I'm gonna wait before I give it that props of being number 1. But it's definitely in my top 3, hands down. And the scent trail on this, I've had so many compliments, and I've only wore this twice. Yeah, I didn't wear it 3 times. I wore this twice, and I'm talking compliment after compliment, just because it brings that curiosity. Again, because of the fresh, spicy, real mossy. It wears heavy and light at the same time. It's one of the best blends. Like the way this was blended together, Mastery Perfumery. Definitely need to get your hands on this one. From the house of Amouage, we have Beach Hut Man. All right, next up, probably the most earthiest, masculine scents. Well, I'm not gonna say the most masculine on the list, but definitely by far one of the most earthiest fragrances on this list. From the house of Nichane, we have Sultan Vetiver. The name says it all in this, Sultan Vetiver. You probably have maybe I don't remember, 4 or 5 different accords of vetiver in this one, and they're all blended very well, but you can tell that it's multiple. You don't think it's just one style done a certain way. You could tell that this is a blend of different vetivers combined. Mastery though, I mean, very, very, very well done. And as far as the scent trail, guys, listen, this one is so spicy, it's so earthy that it's a head turner. It's not sweet at all, but it's not bitter. You do get a leather accord with that amber and citrus. This feels like Middle Eastern luxury. The name speaks for itself. You feel like a sultan prince. This is one of those. Oh man, this is one of those. You definitely will be noticed. There is a touch of tonka bean in this one that may give a hint of sweetness to some, but for me, I just get this earthy, leathery, very masculine. Now, this one, I've heard people say unisex. If you want to say that, that's fine. Me, this is pure masculine and done in a perfect way, man. If you talk about vetiver scents, I would have to give this a 10 out of 10. I'm gonna just be real with you. And as far as scent trails, don't worry. They know when you're coming and going. Pause. With that being said, from the house of Nishane, we have Sultan Vetiver. All right. Now, not going to believe this, but while recording this video, I almost forgot one. So with that being said, more than likely you won't know it because I'm definitely going to have to edit it out, but I have to kick one off the list because I left one out. And this one cannot be left out when we're talking about scent trails. When speaking on scent trails, this has to be in there. And those of you that's familiar with it, I'm sure you will agree, from the house of Virtus, we have Vanilla Oud. Listen, we're talking spicy, sweet, musky, caramel, vanilla, oud, balsamic, powdery. This is luxury. This is sweet, sexy luxury. Oh man, dress down? No, I wouldn't dress this one down, guys. Definitely make sure your attire is up to par when sporting something like this, because all the attention is definitely going to be on you. You definitely will be the best smelling person in the room. Nobody's going to be smelling like this. Now this one is quite unisex. That vanilla in this it's a masterfully done fragrance right here. The oud and the vanilla, the way that comes together is perfect. The powderiness, and it's very potent. It lingers. I mean, you get like this bubble around you, and everyone in the room, they would notice you, but it wouldn't be off-putting. Definitely don't spray too much. If you, with the right amount of sprays, I would say 3 to 4. Definitely no more than 4. Me personally, I would do 3 sprays. 3 is enough. This is sexy. This is trying to be attractive. Definitely want to be attractive with this one. That's all I got. Vanilla, oud, musky, powdery, caramel, excellence. From the house of Virtus, we got Vanilla Oud. All right, last but not least, I did not want to put this one on this video because it was in my last video. I try to stay away from duplicating fragrances back to back, but come on now, we talking about scent trails. Speaking on scent trails, you can't leave this out. From the house of Roja Parfums, Midsummer Dream. Oh man, when talking about scent trail, as soon as you pop the top off, if you sprayed your bottle before, as soon as you take the top off on this one, it's there. So you already know what's going to happen when wearing this and walking, when passing someone by. just this right here, very, very aromatic. One of the most strangest scents I have. When I say strange, I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's strange in the sense of you're not really sure what notes is bringing it out the way it does. Now, I did see that it had a note of carrot seed in it, which is new to me. I doubt I have any other fragrances with carrot seed in it. If I do, I'm just not aware, and I'm sure it's not as potent as it is in this one. Carrot seed mixed with the elemi. You do get some florals in this, some type of rose in this. I definitely get rose. I get citrus, I get bergamot, but this is gorgeous. This is, again, this is a new one to my collection. Another that I smelled before, but I didn't quite wear it. I had a sample. I didn't even spray the sample on. When I smelled it, just from the little tube, it was like one of those two milliliter tubes. I knew I was going to buy a bottle. It took me some time to get. I was trying to get it at a decent price. Finally, I just gave in. But yeah, from the House of Roja Dove, definitely check this one out. The presentation on it is gorgeous, but that's not what we're talking about. The scent trail. Again, it's going to follow you everywhere you go. It's going to leave a lasting trail to the point anyone that you were around, if they leave that room, come back and you're gone, your presence is still in that room with them. It's just as simple as that. Gorgeous scent, definitely unisex. Another masterpiece. To me, if I had to rate this, I would give it a, hell with it, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10, just because how unique and sophisticated that this smell. From the House of Roja Dove, Midsummer Dream. All right, we've reached the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Again, some people say my spinning is obnoxious. Some people say my spinning is ridiculous. But for me only, I just try to make it make sense. Till next time, keep it locked. Pow. Take care.